Ojinaga. Presidio, obviously, the US side, and much smaller. And the bigger town that you can see there in the distance is across the border. Lots of used car lots here on the US side. Not for sale, it looks like, but in the process of being imported and exported. And it looks like we've got the US border crossing here just up ahead. So I'm not going to cross into Ojinaga. I'll turn back around. But I want to get the drone in the air to get a view of what the countryside looks like. Got the Presidio border crossing straight ahead. Smaller crossing. A little bit of a walk across spot. We're down here to the east of us is the big set of kind of Big Bend State Park, and then Big Bend National Park. In terms of migrant encounters, it consistently ranks at the bottom of the stack of the regions that Customs and Border Protection patrol. I think the last numbers I saw were only a couple of thousand people over the course of this year, and it's June now. So not too many people are braving the wilderness to get caught. There's easier ways to get across the border. Okay, getting the drone in the air here in Presidio.
Take off.
Okay, headed up. So what we're looking at here is the town of Presidio. US side. And this will be panning towards border crossing, which you can see right there. And one thing to note, I don't see a big rusty iron wall. And then straight ahead is Ojinaga. But just to give an idea of the countryside, I know it's a little bit hazy out there. It's definitely dry. Got a little bit of agriculture. Coming in super scrubby. So the pretty hilly also on the way in. So this is more of Presidio that we're seeing here. All right. There's our 360-degree view. There we go. There's Rub. On down we come. Okay, so just spotted this at gas station in Presidio. This is part of a big kind of train, and you can see the school bus up here where they've gone into the US and bought a whole bunch of stuff. Look at all the bikes strapped to the roof of the school bus, and then it's towing two vehicles, a Tacoma and a Colorado, with more bikes and furniture strapped on. And then coming along behind, we've got, looks like a Nissan. It's pulling another Tacoma with some car seats, a range, a mini fridge. Here's one with a mattress and ladder towing 2 more vehicles. Somebody went shopping, got into the US and found a bunch of good deals on secondhand goods, and off they go. So we saw where all this lands, of course, in places like Juarez. These will likely wind up in Ojinaga or something, but in Juarez we were driving through the middle of town and saw those neighborhoods that had all of the kind of recycled, fixed stuff for people to be able to purchase. Well, here we are, folks, in Big Bend Ranch State Park, and I'm overlooking the Rio Grande and border between US and Mexico, right here. So it's June, and you can see the water levels are already pretty low. Definitely kind of a green, verdant strip along an otherwise dry and dusty, but very pretty desert landscape. So already here, we've got a river that's not super big. This would be real easy to get across. Might get a little muddy doing it, but yeah, it's pretty. Alright, folks, we are here at Big Bend National Park, or the entrance anyway. It's been a pretty little drive getting down here, so I'm excited to get into the park and see what it has to offer. We'll be going all the way down to the Rio Grande today to see what things look like down there. Alright. At the fossil area in Big Bend National Park. visitor center. They got their 3D map. And so this is the southern. Actually, we've got Chihuahua and Coahuila. Right here in Boquillas. Wow. We got some cool sandstone peaks, and then looking out over the Rio Grande River Valley down here. Oh, that is gorgeous. All right, we are down here at the Boquillas crossing. When I checked in at the ranger station, they told me that it is not open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it is Tuesday, so it won't be open until Friday again. But it's located right over here, and then that's got to be Boquillas right there. So the Rio Grande is quite shallow right in the area, so you can wade across, or sounds like they've got a little boat that you can take across as well. I guess one thing that I'm curious about is Boquillas actually looks like it's got some people in it. If their main point of contact is coming through Big Bend National Park, and they're kind of resupplied by the United States, or if they've got a road coming into Boquillas from the south. So here we are at the Boquillas Overlook. This is looking back into Big Bend National Park. There's the Rio Grande, and Boquillas is right over here. And looks like we've got souvenirs with pricing. Mexican souvenirs for sale. Pay here. Thanks. God bless. Ah, look at that. Honor system. Yeah, that's great. Okay. And so we will get close to those cicadas. There's the river. Let's see, there's some cattle down here. And then Boquillas up there. We know from the numbers reported by CBP that there aren't too many folks that they catch crossing here, because I'm guessing this is a difficult spot to get to from the Mexican side. Sure is pretty. And if this kind of terrain is indicative of what the rest of the kind of unpopulated area of the river valley is, I think there's not a lot of likelihood that somebody's going to try and accomplish that. I mean, sure, they may get over into the US, but that's not going to give them much of an advantage than having to make the trek through some pretty brutal terrain. It is hot right now. I wouldn't at all envy anybody who had to try and hike out of a place like this. I mean, I'm about 20 miles away from the visitor center, which is about 25 miles away from the start of the park. we take off from here, go see some more populated areas, starting with Del Rio. So, tally ho.